There's no separation of church and state. For you to be a member of the official religions of America, you have to do the right paperwork to get the right tax exemptions, to get the rights of any other religion. Which means the church has to deal with the state to become an established church officially. So, and the Vatican are the people who are manipulating the banks to control our government. There is no separation of church and state. That's some superficial bullshit. Well, what has happened is my father is somebody who spent his life understanding symbolism, and the elite were constantly corrected by him. I remember him going to a museum with me in Santa Barbara and correcting a European artist and teaching her a lot of history of Rome. She was very well educated herself. I believe it's the museum proprietor or something like that. So he spent his life holding seminars in Southern California, teaching people and correcting people on their thoughts. And he was raised in the Catholic, and I believe he went to a boarding school as well at one point. So, may I teach you what I mean by I'm a prophet. I spent my life correcting the guy who spent his life correcting all the white elites and their top minds in their think tanks. Which means only one thing. It wasn't science that got me this far. It was divine insight, divine foresight. God exists, and I am a living testament to that. I could not have done what I did without God's help. And the white man and his English language are the one area in school, English is what I'm talking about, that I've always had trouble with. Why? Because it is a white person teaching a white language in a white way to a African man. That is the same problem many Africans have. We have to separate from white society. We have to understand that our enemies are going to plot on us from afar while they use their lower level minions to assimilate us. The destruction of the black race at all costs is part of their agenda, and the preservation of the white race. They have never conquered Africa, but they have tricked them into doing the white man's work, and it cost many lives. Leopold of Belgium, what did he do in the Congo? Killed 2 million people. Why? Because it was the political turmoil and the strife that was caused by the effects of having trusted the Belgian government. Who trusted them? The bootlickers. Instead of fighting them every step of the way, they allowed them to settle. They allowed them to colonize and build up their forces and build the Force Republic. And the dark side of the Force was run by the white empire. And the light side has always been with the black sub-Saharan African who is targeted. Whether he's targeted by French in Sierra Leone for prostitution, French in Cameroon for prostitution, or he's targeted in Congo for rapes and murder and extortion, or he's targeted in Nigeria and Somalia for his oil. And everywhere he sets up his own groups that have the most guns that control the opposition movement. So if things come to a head and the opposition manage to kick out the colonists, they have the key figures in their pocket already. They are moles, they are sleeper agents. MI6, Mossad, CIA, MI 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as well. Some of you think these things do not exist. Look it up. There are many sections of the MIs. When they were making that James Bond and they said he's Agent 007, 008, they weren't kidding with this kind of stuff. Those guys literally compartmentalize people in a very basic, very simple, very straightforward way, and they tell you they're not doing it the whole time while bombarding you with bullshit and celebrity sluts and all these people who belong part to the secret society and know when to stop seeking their own interest and pretend they're part of the secret society interest and push their own agenda further. It's the application of the collaboration of the scum and the minions of SETI who have vested interest with the bankers, the psychiatrists, the New World Orders, the archaeologists, and many other Eurocentric scum whom I must face every day of life until I die. You see, I am going to imply one principle from the streets, is that we do not die, we multiply. There will be many and many and many more. Oh, by the way, my beliefs, my personal beliefs is females should not take part in any war situation. That's my personal belief. Thank you.